Crimsonflame92, and today, doing this guest commentary for Velo the Assassin, and boom, fuck you, Spawn Poison. I love spawn poisoning people, that shit's funny, but, you know, at first when I was going in this guest commentary, I was thinking to myself, maybe I'll tongue your brain a little bit, give you a nice mind tickler, but no, I decided, nah, that gets done way too much, and, you know, I have no idea what the target audience is on her channel, other than, you know, I don't know the types of players. I know some of you guys, but I don't really know the entire thing of types of players she has viewing her channel. I don't know if she's got just, like, mostly deathmatch, or mostly AA, or a mix of everything, or all they like to see is just, like, non-serial commentaries, but, you know, that's another thing. I can't just stick to it and do a super non-serious commentary, because I would have to force out an immense amount of charisma for myself that I just don't have at the moment, and I have not had for like some time now. It's just too much charisma. I'm not a very charismatic guy. I'm a very like any of you guys that ever they're on Twitter and you see the grumpy cat thing. That's pretty much me. You know, those of you who know Dylan know that his life is pretty much defined by Spooderman with swag. Mine is pretty much defined by Grumpy Cat with grumpiness. That's me right there at the grump. I'm pretty much a fucking grump, I'm not gonna lie. But that's why I wanted to bring a little, sort of a different topic for this commentary. I wanted to discuss some tactics. There are going to be Assassinate tactics for you, those of you who are not Assassinate players and maybe might be interested in the tactics of Assassinate rather than just baiting, because it's not all about baiting. Then by all means, maybe I'll orientate you a little bit. And if you don't care, then just, you know, blast your most epic dubstep and turn the volume down the video and just watch it with the fucking dubstep and you'll be good to go. Now, first thing I want to talk about is sort of like playstyles and things you'll notice. Now, the one thing you'll notice in this video, and it's something I see so much in Assassinate, and I don't get why. I've gotten caught up in it several times, and there's plenty of times that you don't try to get caught up in it, and you just can't escape it because no one will leave you the fuck alone. And the reason I say that, you're like, oh, no one will leave you the fuck alone, oh no. Well, it's like this. Alright. If you're playing with, like, maybe 2 or 3 players around your skill level, right? And they play a similar way, and your all's biggest fetish for each other is trying to counter their playstyle. That's great. Now, as you notice, Velo is not an Assassinate player. She doesn't really upload Assassinate content, and I've been trying to teach her the ways, you know, take her under my wing. Me and Dylan teach her the ways of Assassinate and ACR, and or just some things in Assassinate in general. And it's funny how she's still learning, and yet I've noticed her pick up on this mode a whole lot faster than a lot of other people. Does that mean that she's, like, super fancy? No. Does that mean that she's, like, really good? No. But she is learning very fast. She's actually a whole lot better than she is in this video. She's gotten a whole lot better since this video. This video is pretty old. But, it's funny how someone still learning the mode can use a simple tactic, is just taking advantage of the beauty of Assassinate. You can kill anybody. Meaning, you can either A, choose to waste all your time on a couple people who are going to be super elusive. Now, for instance, Dylan, I know the reason what he was doing in this match. I can tell. I don't even have to watch his point of view the entire time. I know he was wasting 90% of his time trying to catch Joko Boy and trying to catch Deus. Deus' playstyle, he is very good at defensive parkour. Don't even bother. Could you catch him? Sure, you can catch anybody. Could you kill him? Yeah. Could you eventually get him? Yes. But you are going to waste so much of your time trying to get him. That's why I just wouldn't. And that's a tactic I've talked about in the past, being the undesirable target. It works. Defensive parkour works, people. They can, you know, oh, defensive sucks. Well, you can, you know, pick one side of the coin all you want, but I'd prefer to adapt the playstyle that implements everything in the game that's possible, rather than just relying on one particular way to play, whether that be being super cautious defensive, aggressive defense, or just defense in general where you're just trying to get stuns first, or whether that be where you're trying to be super offensive and aggressive with killing, you know? And there's so many different other defensive tactics no one talks about. Like, no one ever talks about escape luring. That's a defensive tactic right there. Basically, it's, you notice people doing it a lot when they kind of run into something. I notice Joko Boy does a lot of the time. That's like one of his A tactics, especially in Assassinate with other good players. He tries to lure an escape out of you. Like 90% of the time, he'll kind of run in, and then he'll do a quick circle around when he unlocks you, and locks tries to expose you while you're running. Because an ACR, the way the lock works is it's sort of got a delay. So you have to literally come to a dead stop and lock, because it can do sort of like a ghost escape, and that can give people points. Not necessarily a bad tactic, I do it all the time, but it's not like my A tactic. And so many people think, well, you just hate on everyone's tactics. Like, it doesn't matter how they play, you get irritated. I'm not irritated how a motherfucker plays. I get irritated when a motherfucker plays a certain way, that's his only tactic, gets mad when I do something to counter that tactic, and then sends me hate mail. That's when I get mad. Like, I don't send people hate mail. You don't see me sending drums hate mail, like, oh, you're such a dude, because your knife's... I don't fucking care. He doesn't send me rage mail, I don't send him rage mail. You see my point? You don't say something smart on the mic, I don't send you a message. You don't say nothing about me, I don't do nothing to you. You know what I mean? I just play. Now this right here just kind of like, I don't know why noobs do this, like they inch towards you, like just come over here and get grab killed, because you know you're going to fucking do it. They do that all the time. They just kind of look at you like, as soon as you climb up here, I'm going to contest the fuck out of you. Like, like what the fuck are you doing? I know they don't know, but it's just like, why? Like, I could spam Y into their, like, on the screen if I could right now. I just would do that, but I know they don't know better, but I don't understand why it's like a common thing you see. You'd think people that don't know better wouldn't necessarily always achieve a similar thought process. They would always have different thoughts. Now, there's another tactic right here that I've sort of noticed a lot of people doing, especially a lot of people that use knives. They try to, of course, I mean, everybody tries to lure abilities out with knives. That's like their A tactic of knives. I don't have a problem with that. But like I've said, I do have a problem when people just kind of like, that's their A tactic, and I'm just thinking to myself, really? That's the only tactic you have? Is trying to lure an ability, hold the lock within the chase, and then try to get a grab kill. And then get mad as fuck when I don't go near the ledge, and then I get an escape when they start a chase. Like, dude, that's how you counter that. I'm just going to get an escape. I'm not going to try and get you an ability. I'm going to use a defensive smoke to get away, because I know you're trying to lure an ability, and once I get away, I'm just going to get an escape when you start a chase, because that's what most of those people do. Not always, but a lot of the time. But one of the main tactics that I see people using, which is actually one in this video, it's probably something she didn't even consciously mean to do, is basically, while Joko Boy, Dylan, and Deus are all wasting time on each other, mostly Dylan probably wasting a lot of time on Joko Boy and Deus, which is kind of hilarious, Velo is just going to go around the corners of the map and pick off random people and get mad points for it. And see, in a competitive lobby like this, where they're wasting so much time on each other, that's the reason they score so low. And it's not all about score, I imagine that. But I mean, it's just like, while they're off wasting their time, Velo's just like, boom, brutal escape, stun, and then fucking poison. You know, and it's just like, yeah. While they're off doing all that, she's just getting points. And that's such a simple tactic going to the noobs. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't have a problem with it, especially if everybody's wasting all their time and energy. The fact that you could call yourself a pro Assassinate player and not recognize someone doing this, whether they be intentionally doing it or not. How can you call yourself a master assassin if you really let somebody do that? And it's just kind of funny because they tried so hard and got so far, but in the end you lost by 50 fucking points. Anyway guys, I'm just fucking with y'all a little bit. I'm Crimsonflame92. And I probably will never see you ever. But I'll say it anyway, soon.
One thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to remind myself how